Let's see, a time that I had to go above the call of duty. I remember one day in the summer of 2013 as a lifeguard. A mother and two kids came to the pool, and the mother decided to tan while her kids played in the pool, which is usually fine if they're watching them, but I guess she happened to doze off, and I noticed the kids were still in the pool and they were playing around. It wasn't that big an issue, but for safety reasons, we tell parents to make sure to keep an eye on their children because I'm not a babysitter. I'm a lifeguard. As I'm going to her to ask her to please be vigilant and supervise her children, I hear from the side one of the kids yelling, and I look over and I see the little girl running over to me and her little brother in the bottom of the pool. And without even thinking, I jump into the pool and I just practiced everything that I was trained. I checked for ABCs. I made sure that the kid was still breathing, that he could talk. Thank God it was only a little bit of water stuck in his throat, and he just he freaked out. He didn't know what to do. Thank God I was watching him. After that, the mother woke up, and she wasn't too happy with me, and my supervisor wasn't too happy with me. But at the end of the day, they both thanked me. They said thank you for being there and doing your job correctly. So yeah, I mean, I handled it well, I guess. I definitely did everything I was told, and I followed the procedure, and because of that, I was able to save that young boy's life. And hopefully his mother learned a lesson, and I know I did. A time where I had to work under a great deal of pressure. I remember once when I was working for the food project, towards the end of my career, they made us go to Milwaukee on a business trip to teach workshops to various groups of people, audiences of 300 plus. And so I just remember thinking about the size of the stadium and the size of the audience and just all those eyes on me. And I remember just not being ready at all to do something I've done a million times before, at least over 10,000 hours. I had it down in my brain, and I just, I freaked, my butterflies started, in my stomach, and I didn't know what to do. And I took a deep breath. I talked to my coworker. We were working on this together, and we kind of formulated a plan, where we would say the parts we were more comfortable with, and we would just kind of work off each other's vibes, and we worked really well. We actually ended up improvising most of it, so that it was just such a fluid transition. And so all that pressure I felt before with the mass groups of audience and the number of different performances we would have to give, just kind of faded, and what was ahead of me was just such a nice, enjoyable trip to Milwaukee with my supervisor and coworkers, and it was really something else. I try to take initiative with everything that I do, especially when it comes to work. One particular instance where I took initiative was my first week of working at the security job I have now. There's a set of trainings that we're supposed to do that's about 4 or 5 months worth of training, and I decided to take initiative and do all that within the first 2 weeks. And by doing that, I showed my bosses that I was ready and willing to take on more responsibility, not just as a security officer, but as a supervisor. Because of the initiative that I took in completing all those courses in a very short amount of time, most of the coworkers that I work with also took the initiative to complete the very same trainings that they had been working on for years, that they had decided to just leave unattended. Now my boss and my supervisor are critically looking at everybody's profile to make sure that everybody's up to date, and are both asking some good questions to everybody, making sure that everybody's 100% invested and nobody's trying to retaliate against the management, because it's a bit of an issue right now.